Whether you are taking IELTS academic or IELTS general, the strategies that I'm going to be teaching will help you. The things I'm going to be explaining, I'm going to be discussing will be helpful. So whether it's IELTS academic or IELTS general or IELTS UKVI general or IELTS UKVI academic, whatever it is, English is English, ladies and gentlemen. The strategies for dealing with questions in IELTS reading are what? They are transferable. In other words, they are applicable to all forms of IELTS. Okay? So I want you to follow closely. So let me start with the strategies. Let me give you the steps. How do we solve questions? What are the steps that successful students use? Most of the successful students that I know, what are the steps that they use? What are the steps that they follow when it comes to solving questions in IELTS reading? I'm going to give you the steps, and then I'm going to apply those steps. So step one is to what? Read the questions and identify keywords. Okay, that is step one. Read the questions and identify keywords. Don't start by reading the passage. It's going to waste your time. Okay, it's going to waste your time. You have just 1 hour. Step one is what? Read the questions and identify keywords. Somebody says, what are keywords? Keywords are verbs, adverbs, adjectives, proper nouns, common nouns, dates, figures, and amounts of money. Okay, those are keywords. Whenever you see words like this in the question, they should jump at you. They should register in your mind as what? As keywords. Okay, you're going to see me use keywords when I start treating the Cambridge IELTS 14 test 3. Now, step two is to what? Scan through the passage for the keywords or the paraphrases of the keywords. So sometimes you may not see those exact keywords. Sometimes what you will see will be the paraphrases of the keywords. Okay, so you need to be on the lookout for any of those two things, the keywords that you identified or the paraphrases. So let's say, for example, I see England in the question. Okay, England can also be referred to as Britain, can also be referred to as the United Kingdom. Okay, so it's possible that I will look at the passage and I will not see England, and I will be seeing what? I'll be seeing Britain, I'll be seeing United Kingdom. Okay, if, for example, in the question I see food, in the passage, they may use words like meal. Okay, those are paraphrases. So you look for the you scan through the passage and look for the word, the keyword or the paraphrases of the keywords. That's step two. Okay, step three. What is step three? Step three is to do what? Is to focus on the part of the passage that contains the keyword. Okay? Focus on the word. Focus on the part of the passage that contains the keyword. Study that part closely. Okay? Focus on the part of the passage that contains the keyword. Study that part. Compare it to the what? Question, and extract your what? Answer. Okay? Extract your answer. So that's step three. And then step four. This step is the most important. To me, this step four is the most important. And what is step four? After marking your work, do thorough self-correction. In other words, go through the questions that you got wrong and do what? And learn from your mistakes. Okay? Self-correction means what? You look at the questions you got wrong and ask yourself, how did you arrive at your wrong answer? How did you arrive at your wrong answer? Why is the answer in the textbook correct? Try and study that answer that the textbook says is the correct answer. And ask yourself, okay, why is this answer correct? Let's say assume that you wrote true, but then the textbook says that the answer is false. Ask yourself, okay, why is it false? Then take some time to study. That's self-correction. So step 4 is extremely important. Step 4 is the one that will help you to improve your scores. If you don't do self-correction after your reading practices, you are doing yourself a lot of harm, okay? A lot of disservice. So after every practice, you must do what? You must do self-correction. So I'm going to go through these 4 steps. And if I get any question wrong, okay, you're going to see me do self-correction, okay? Now, let's go to the passage. Let's go to our passage. So like I said, we're going to be treating Cambridge IELTS 14 academic. So this is Cambridge IELTS 14, okay? Academic tests 3. Academic test 3. You can see test 3 here. So this is the first passage, passage 1. The title is The Concept of Intelligence. So you see this passage is a very long passage. I'm not reading the passage. I'm not starting by reading the passage. I'm going to the questions. The question starts with matching information. We call this question type matching information question. Okay? So I'm not going to solve matching information questions first. I'm going to solve gap filling first. I usually like solving gap filling questions first. Either gap filling or matching features. So I can see matching features here. I can see matching features here. So I'm going to start with it, matching features. Why am I starting with matching features? Because it will be easy for me to locate the keywords. These keywords are proper nouns. They are names of people. They are names of theories. Theories, you can see theories. You can see it starts with capital letter. Hamiltonian, Jeffersonian, Jacksonian. So I start with questions that allow me to easily locate keywords. That's why I either start with gap filling, or I start with matching features, or I start with true, false, not given. Those 3. I start with any of those 3. So I'll start with what? This set of questions. So I'm going to scan through the passage for this name, these theories, Hamiltonian, Jeffersonian, and Jacksonian. Those are my keywords. These are my keywords. These words will show up in the passage exactly like this. Now, these statements, they also contain keywords. It is desirable for the same possibility to be open to everyone. It is desirable. That's a keyword here. Same possibility. Same possibilities. That's another keyword. Open to everyone. In other words, everyone should be able to access the same possibilities. That's what this number 7 is saying. So who came up with that theory? That's what we are supposed to go and check the passage for. Number 8, no section of society should have preferential treatment at the expense of another. No section. Preferential treatment. Expense. In other words, another one is suffering while another one is enjoying. That should not happen. That's what number 8 is saying. Number 9, people should only gain benefits on the basis of what they actually achieve. People, that's a keyword here, gain benefits. Gain. Gain is a very important keyword for me. It's a verb. What are we gaining? Benefits on the basis of what they actually achieve. In other words, your benefit should be connected to what you have done. That's what this number 9 is saying. So you see what I'm doing? I'm studying the statements to understand the statements. These are things you train yourself to do. You practice doing this thing before the exam day so that you get used to it. What you do on the exam day is a reflection of what you have been practicing before the exam. So if you have not been practicing correctly on the exam day, you are not going to do the right thing. Okay? So train yourself now to study questions and highlight keywords and understand the keywords so that you can get used to it. Okay? Number 10, variation in intelligence begins at birth. Birth is a keyword here. Begins is a verb. It's also a keyword. Variation is another keyword. Variation in what? Intelligence. Number 11, the more intelligent people should be in positions of power. More intelligent. That's an adjective to qualify people. More intelligent. Positions of power, that's another keyword. Number 12, everyone can develop the same abilities. Everyone is a keyword here. Develop is a keyword here. Same abilities. That's another keyword. Those two words are keywords. People of low intelligence are likely to lead uncontrolled lives. Low intelligence, those two words are keywords. Likely, that's a very important keyword. Lead uncontrolled lives. Uncontrolled is a keyword for me. Uncontrolled is a very important keyword for me here. So I have identified all the keywords here. The next thing I'll do now is to go to the passage and scan for those keywords. I'm going to scan for these ABC keywords. And then once I locate ABC, I will now study that part and then use this 7 to 13, the keywords 7 to 13 to pick my answers. Now let's go to the passage. Hamiltonian, Jacksonian, and Jeffersonian. So paragraph A, there's nothing like Hamiltonian here. I've scanned. I'm not wasting time. Paragraph B, there's nothing like Hamiltonian in paragraph B. Paragraph C, there's nothing like Hamiltonian here. Paragraph D, there's nothing like Hamiltonian there. Paragraph E, can you see the way I'm scanning? I don't know what is a passage in paragraph A, B, C, D. E, there's nothing like Hamiltonian here. F, I can see Jacksonian. Hamiltonian, very good. Now, we now focus. We have now moved to step 2 now. Focus. You can see that they just introduced the 3 theories in paragraph F. Now, paragraph G now gives us Hamiltonian, you can see. Paragraph H, Jeffersonian, and paragraph I, Jacksonian. Now you see we are focusing here now. Now, paragraph G. The Hamiltonian view, which is similar to the Platonic view, is that people are born with different levels of intelligence. Hold on. People are born with different levels of intelligence. That's who said that? That's Hamiltonian. People are born with different levels of intelligence. That's number 10. Variation. What's the meaning of variation? Can you see paraphrasing that they've done for us, ladies and gentlemen? Variation means what? Different levels. Okay? At birth, people are born. People are born. Can you see paraphrasing? Can you see that they've done paraphrasing for us here? So number 10 can be matched to who? Can be matched to Hamiltonian, yes. Number 10 can be matched to what? To A. So I'm going to type A here in my computer. When I finish everything, I'm going to post the answer for you guys to see. So number 10 is what? Number 10 is A. Number 10 is what? Number 10 is A. Variation in intelligence begins at birth. That is from Hamiltonian. He said that what? People are born with different levels of intelligence. That's the statement I'm using to support it. Let me give you something here. Very, very important. Write this down. Every answer that you pick, let me change the color of this stuff. Every answer that you pick must be what? Fully supported by a specific sentence, clause, phrase, clause or phrase in the paragraph that contains the keywords. Either paragraph or paragraphs. This is extremely important. If you pick a particular answer for a question, you must be able to point at a particular sentence in the passage that you are using as the basis for your answer. Like I've done now, for my number 10, my answer is this particular phrase. People are born with different levels of intelligence. That's my basis for my answer. For number 10, for matching number 10 to statement A. So this thing is extremely important. It's part of the things that you need to what? You need to learn to do. It's going to help you to master IELTS reading. Okay, let's go on. Let's continue our story. Let's continue with Hamiltonian view. So it says that what? People are born with different levels of intelligence, and that those who are less intelligent need the good offices of the more intelligent to keep them in line. Those who are less intelligent need the good offices of the more intelligent to keep them in line, whether they are called government officials or in Plato terms, philosopher kings. This thing sounds like one of the statements I saw. Number 11. The more intelligent people should be in positions of power. The more intelligent people should be in positions of power. Let me see. It says that those who are less intelligent need the good offices of the more intelligent to keep them in line. Maybe, I'm not sure yet. I'll come back to what I will do is this. I'm not sure yet. I'm not sure. It looks like this statement is pointing at number 11 for Hamiltonian, but I'm not sure. So what I will do is that I'm going to write number 11. I'm going to write A for it. Then I will star it. I'm starring it because I'm not sure and I can change my answer. That's it. That's how I practice my IELTS reading. I don't want to waste time in case I run out of time. That's how I do it. Okay? Now, let me go on. Let me go on. Hamiltonian. We are still there. So, Erskine and Murray seem to have shared the belief, okay, which eventually would have to take responsibility for a large, hold on. Erskine and Murray seem to have shared this belief when they wrote about the emergence of a cognitive elite, which eventually would have to take the responsibility of the largely responsible masses of non-elites, low IQ, people who cannot take care of themselves. So you see, these guys shared this belief. Which belief? Hamiltonian view. Can you see paraphrasing here? This is another way they do paraphrasing. They do paraphrasing by using pronouns. This belief, THIS is a pronoun referring to the word Hamiltonian view. So it's still Hamiltonian they're talking about. So these guys are saying that what? People who have low IQ cannot take care of themselves. That's a statement. Statement 13. People of low intelligence are likely to lead uncontrolled lives. Can you see this is interesting? Number 13 is matched to A. That one, I'm very sure of that one. Number 13 is what? A. Okay? Number 13 is matched to A. Let's go on. So I think that's all for Hamiltonian. Let's go to Jeffersonian. The Jeffersonian view is that people should have equal opportunities, but they do not necessarily avail themselves equally of these opportunities and are not necessarily equally rewarded for their accomplishment. People should have equal opportunities sounds like something. Number 7. Number 7. It is desirable for the same possibilities. Yes. People should have equal opportunities. Sounds like same possibility. So number 7 can be matched to Jeffersonian. So number 7, I'm going to write B for number 7. Number 7, B. Okay. Now let's go on. Let's go back to our passage. Jeffersonian view. People are rewarded for what they accomplish if given equal opportunities. Yes, this one sounds like it sounds like, where is it now? People should only gain benefits on the basis of what they actually achieve. Number 9. Number 9 sounds like this statement that I read now. People are rewarded for what they accomplish. Yes, that's it. Low achievers are not rewarded to the same extent as high achievers. Yes. So number 7 can be matched to Jeffersonian. No, sorry, number 9. Number 9, people are rewarded. Rewarded is a paraphrase for gain benefits. Gain benefits. So number 9 is matched to B. Number 9 is matched to B. Okay? Number 9 is matched to B. Then let's go on. In Jeffersonian view, the goal of education is not to favor or foster an elite, as in the Hamiltonian tradition, but rather to allow children the opportunities to make full use of the skills they have. To allow children to make full use of the, yes, so that's still number 7 that is pointing at. It's still number 7. So I've not done number 8 and number 12. I've not done number 8 and number 12. No section of the society should have preferential treatment. That's number 8. Number 12, everyone can develop the same abilities. Okay, let's check whether Jacksonia would point at those two. The Jacksonian view is that all people are equal, not only as human beings, but in terms of their competencies, that one person should serve as well as the other in government or on a jury or in almost any position of responsibility. All people are equal and everybody should. So this person is saying that all people are equal and one person should serve as well as the other in any position. That's Jacksonian. Okay. So that's pointing at statement number 8. No section of society should have preferential treatment at the expense of another. That's sounding like what I just read now, that all people are equal. So nobody should be preferred over another. So number 8 can be matched to C. Number 8 can be matched to C. Then let me move on. One person should serve as well as another in government. Okay. Then, in this view of democracy, people are essentially intersubstitutable, except for specialized skills, all of which can be learned. In this view, we do not need or want any institution that might lead to favoring one group over another. Yes, that's still pointing at number 9. We do not want an institution that will favor one group over another. This number 12, everyone can develop the same abilities. Let me see. Everyone can develop the same abilities. That's sounding like all of which can be learned. People are essentially intersubstitutable, except for specialized skills, all of which can be learned. So that's everyone. That's sounding like everyone being able to develop the same abilities. So, well, number 12, I'll pick C for number 12. Number 12, C. Number 12, C. So, you see that number 11 that I start. Remember number 11 that I start with option A. I've not seen any other theory to replace it. The more intelligent people should be in positions of power. What's it called? Jeffersonian did not say that. Jeffersonian did not say more intelligent people should be in positions of power. Jeffersonian is about people being rewarded. And then, what's it called? Jacksonian definitely did not say that. So we still leave it as Hamiltonian. All right. So I've solved my matching features questions. Let me go to let me go to the true false not given questions. No, this is yes, no, not given. Slow language development in children is likely to prove disappointing to their parents. People's expectations of what children should gain from education are universal. Scholars may discuss theories without fully understanding each other. So let me start with number 1. Slow language development. That's a keyword for me here. Prove disappointing. Parents. So slow is a keyword here. Slow language development in children. So let me go to the passage and scan carefully. Carefully. Parents is also a keyword for me there. Paragraph A, I can't say anything like parents here. Paragraph B, I can see parents. Okay. For example, parents' implicit theories of their children. Implicit. Hold on. What is the meaning of implicit? Go back. You see where I'm going back. In other words, people all have unconscious notions known as implicit theories. Implicit basically now means what? Unconscious notions. Unconscious notions of intelligence, okay? So parents' implicit theories of their children's language development will determine at what age they will be willing to make various corrections in their children's speech. More generally, parents' implicit theories of intelligence will determine at what age they believe their children are ready to perform various cognitive tasks. Job interviewers. Okay, so he has stopped talking about parents there. Hold on. Slow language development in children is likely to prove disappointing. Hey, you see this part of prove disappointing? I did not see it in the passage in that paragraph that I just read now. This issue of prove disappointing, I did see it in this part I'm highlighting now. There's nothing about proof disappointing there. This part I just highlighted now. Proof disappointing is not there. So I'm going to pick not giving. I'm going to pick not giving for that question. Proof disappointing. So this issue is not showing up. Anytime you see something that is not showing up, anything in the statement that you can't see in the passage, most likely the answer to that question is going to be what? Not giving. So number 4, I'm going to pick not giving. Okay. Number 5, people's expectations of what children should gain from education are universal. People's expectations, that's a keyword there. Children, another keyword. Gain, education, universal. Those are my keywords. So let me go back to the passage. I'll just continue from where I stopped. So it says people will decide who to be friends with. In sum, knowledge about implicit theory, okay, no. What children should gain from education is what I'm looking for. Paragraph C now, implicit theories. To find out, there's nothing about education here. Paragraph D. If an investigation, there's nothing about education here. Okay. Let me go to paragraph E. Implicit theories of intelligence. Okay. Western style schooling. As mentioned earlier, people have expectations for intellectual performance that differ for children of different ages. Hold on, our answer should be here. Can you see the way I've scanned and I've reached the paragraph that contains my keyword? People's expectation of what children should gain from education are universal, okay? Now look at it. As mentioned earlier, people, I saw people there. So you see people now, people, expectation, okay? People have expectations for intellectual performances that differ for children of different ages. Can you see that? So this sentence is sounding like this statement. Okay, now let us analyze and break it down. People's expectation of what children should gain. What children should gain is basically referring to what? Intellectual performance. How well a child performs intellectually. The performance of a child is developed in school. That's it. So what a child should gain in school. Now, the final part of that statement is what? Universal. What is the meaning of universal? When you say something is universal, that means that what? That thing is the same everywhere. Is the same all over the world. Is applicable all over the world. If you say that practice is universal, that means that what? That practice is done all over the world. Okay? Now look at it. Look at what they wrote here. It says that people have expectations for intellectual performances that differ for children of different ages. Then it now says that what? How these expectations differ is in part a function of culture. Can you see that? Can you see that it's not universal? In other words, what you expect in Yoruba culture may be different from what you expect in Russian culture. That may be different from what you expect in Fulani culture. That's what this second part is saying. These expectations differ. These expectations differ. How these expectations differ is in part a function of culture. For example, expectations of children who participate in Western style schooling are almost certain to be different from those who do not participate in such schooling. Can you see? So that statement is what? That statement is false. It is not universal. It varies from culture to culture. So number 5 is going to be what? No. I'm going to write no. I'm going to write no. And then number 6, scholars may discuss theories without fully understanding each other. Scholars may do what? Scholars may discuss theories without what? Without fully understanding each other. So let's go back to our passage. Scholars may discuss theories. Now look at paragraph F. Is there anything about discussing theories? I have suggested 3 implicit theories. These might be called, these views are not based strictly, but rather loosely on the philosophies of, okay? So let me take that again. Let me start from the beginning of that sentence. Until scholars are able to discuss their implicit theories and thus their assumptions, they are likely to miss the point of what others are saying when discussing their explicit theories and their data. Okay? In other words, this person is saying that what? Until they discuss something, they are likely to miss something. Let me check that statement again. Scholars may discuss theories without fully understanding each other. Yes, this thing is fully supported. Very, very correct. Very, very correct. Without fully understanding each other. Look at it. Let me show you that part of without fully understanding each other. Look at it here. It says that what? They are likely, can you see this part? They are likely to miss the point of what others are saying. What does it mean to miss the point? Miss the point means that what? You did not understand what somebody said. That's the meaning of miss the point. You did not fully understand what somebody said. So even though you are discussing theories, you are not understanding what the person is saying. That's what this person is. That's what number 6 points at. And that's fully supported by this word, by this last sentence. I believe the answer to that number 6 should be what? Should be yes. The answer to that number 6, based on this last sentence, this last part. So I'm going to write yes for number 6. Yes. My answer is going to be what? It's going to be yes. Then I have number 1, 2, and 3. Number 1, 2, and 3. So what do we have in number 1? Matching information. I already have an idea of where many of the stuffs are located, many of the details. Information about how non-scientist assumptions about intelligence influence their behavior towards each other. Assumptions. That's last paragraph. That's the paragraph I just read now. Assumptions about, what's it called? Wait, hold on. Non-scientists. Non-scientists. No, that's paragraph B. Non-scientists. The last paragraph is for scientists, scholars. So it can't be last paragraph. Non-scientists non-scientists refers to people. For example, parents. Parents is in the category of non-scientists. People, hold on. Job interviewers will make hiring decisions on the basis of their implicit theories. So job interviewers is a category of non-scientists. Okay. Then he also says people will decide who to be friends with. So this thing is non-scientists. Paragraph B is going to be my answer. Non-scientists. I almost missed that. Number 1 should be B. I'm going to pick B for number 1. Paragraph B. Then number 2, a reference to lack of clarity over the definition of intelligence. Lack of clarity over the definition of intelligence. Lack of clarity. Definition, where did they define intelligence? Looked at in one way. Everyone knows what intelligence is. Look what intelligence is. Looked at in another way, no one does. In other words, people have unconscious notions. Definition of intelligence. Definition of intelligence. A reference to lack of clarity. That's going to be paragraph A. This thing says, looked at in one way, everyone knows what intelligence is. Look at another way, no one knows, no one does. So A sounds like the answer. It can't be B. I've already used B for something. What of C? Implicit theories. What of D? I don't think answer is going to be A. I'm going to go for, let me check the last paragraph. Paragraph J. No, I don't think it's paragraph J. I'll pick paragraph A. A is going to be my answer. Then number 3, the point that a researcher's implicit and explicit theories may be different. A researcher's implicit and explicit theories may be different. A researcher's implicit and explicit theories may be different. Okay. So let's see that. A researcher's implicit and explicit theories. Let me see, paragraph C. Implicit theories is here. There's implicit is here again. Implicit. Implicit theories can be used when an investigator suspects that 16 explicit theories are wrong. Okay. If an investigation of implicit theories reveals little correspondence between extant implicit and explicit theories, yes, this is our answer. The implicit theories may be wrong, but possibilities also need to take into account that explicit theories are wrong. Paragraph D is our answer. Number 3, D. I'm picking D for number 3. So, ladies and gentlemen, I have solved questions 1 to 14. Okay? Okay, let me just solve the remaining set of questions. When I finish solving everything, we'll now check our answers. We'll now check our answers and be correct and see whether our answers are correct. Okay? We see whether our answers are correct. So let's move to passage 2. Passage 2 is titled Saving Bugs. Saving bugs to find new drugs. That is the title of passage 2. Saving bugs to find new drugs. Saving bugs to find new drugs. All right. Again, it starts with matching information. Okay, this matching information is plenty. I probably will start with it since it's plenty. We have multiple choice here. We have gap filling. I'm going to start with gap filling. Researchers at Aberystwyth University. Aberystwyth University. Ross Piper, this is a keyword, and fellow zoologists at Aberystwyth University are using their expertise in dash when undertaking bioprospecting. So I'm going to look for Aberystwyth University and Ross Piper and then expertise. So I'll go to the passage. I'll go straight to the passage. I'm looking for Aberystwyth. I can't see Aberystwyth in paragraph A. There's no Aberystwyth here. Paragraph B, Aberystwyth. Paragraph C, is there Aberystwyth here? Paragraph C, is there Aberystwyth here? No. Paragraph D, there's no Aberystwyth in paragraph D either. Paragraph D, Aberystwyth, there's no Aberystwyth in paragraph D. Paragraph E, is there Aberystwyth in paragraph E? No. Paragraph F, oh, paragraph G, Aberystwyth. My colleagues, who is this who wrote this passage? I need to go back. Hold on. Ross Piper and fellow zoologists at Aberystwyth. My colleagues and I. So I'm assuming, oh, see Ross Piper here at the beginning. Under the title. Can you see it, everybody? If you can see what I'm pointing at, let me know. Type in the chat box. Can you see Ross Piper? Can you see the name here? Can you see where they are hiding the keywords? Can you see IELTS examiners? The way they are hiding keywords for us. Ross Piper is not showing up at all in the passage. He's showing up underneath the title. Can you see? Trick. All right, so let's go on. So Ross Piper wrote this passage. He now said that what? My colleagues and I at Aberystwyth University in the UK I've developed an approach in which we use our knowledge of ecology as a guide to target our efforts. Our knowledge of ecology. Our knowledge of ecology. Take note of that. Using their expertise in ecology. That is our answer. Number 23 is going to be what? It's going to be ecology. That's what I'm going to write. Number 23 is what? Ecology. Looking at that last question, scholars may discuss theories without fully understanding each other. So, paragraph F, there's nothing about discussing theories here. Scholars, I can't see scholars here. Okay, discuss theories too is not there. G, H, and I definitely will not contain that thing. Let me check J. Implicit theories of intelligence. Okay, they often serve as underlying presumptions. Okay, scholars, can you see this now? Paragraph J. Can you see the way I'm scanning? Scanning and skimming. I'm not wasting time. You see the way I skipped GHI. There's no need to waste time. I read it earlier on. I don't think I saw anything like scholar discussing things when I was solving that first set of questions. Okay? So, until scholars are able to discuss their implicit theories and their assumptions, they are likely to miss the point of what others are saying. There are two ways to write your answers. Let me give you the two ways to write your answers, okay? Either you write ecology like this, or you write ecology like this. Either of the two, okay? Why? Capital letter is always okay, okay? It minimizes the risk of, mistakes when it comes to proper nouns. Ecology, you cannot write this one. Let me show you another one. Some people will write it this way, ecology. You cannot write it this way. Why? There are two reasons why you cannot write it this way. Ecology is not a proper noun. It's not the name of somebody. It's not like Piper. Piper is the name of somebody. So we can start with capital P. Aberystwyth is the name of a university. So we can start with capital A. Ecology is not the name of somebody. Ecology is not the name of a country. Ecology is not a proper noun. So you cannot start with capital E. That's reason number one. Reason number two is that this gap is not showing up at the beginning of a sentence. This gap is what? Is not showing up at the beginning of a sentence. So you cannot write capital E, ecology. Those are the reasons. Okay? So it's either you write small letter ECOLOGY, okay? Or you just write everything in what? In capital. That's it. So please, that's how you do your work. The ideal way to write your answers when it comes to gap filling questions like this. All right, let me move on. So ecology is my answer for number 23. Okay? Let me type it in my computer. 23, ecology. All right. Now, let's move on. Let's move on. Number 24. They are especially interested in the compounds that insects produce to overpower and preserve their dash. They are what? They are especially interested. Who is the they? This guy, Ross Piper and his guys. They are what? They are especially interested in the compounds that insects produce to overpower and preserve their dash. So I'll go back to that part where I saw ecology. I saw ecology here as a guide. These creatures that particularly interest us are the many insects that secrete powerful poisons for subduing prey. Subdue, overpower. Subdue is overpower. And preserve their, okay, let me look for preserve. Preserve, for subduing prey and keeping it fresh. Preserve is a paraphrase for keeping it fresh. What are they keeping fresh? The prey. So, to produce, encompass that insects produce to overpower and preserve their prey. Pray, P-R-E-Y. That's going to be our answer. P-R-E-Y. Number 24, P-R-E-Y. To overpower and preserve their prey. 25. They are also interested in compounds which insects use to protect themselves from pathogenic bacteria and fungi found in their dash. Pathogenic bacteria and fungi, those are my keywords here. Pathogen, I can see this insect may these insects have many antimicrobial compounds for dealing with pathogenic bacteria and fungi. Okay. Hold on, let's go back. There are even more insects that are masters of exploiting filthy habitats, such as feces and carcasses, where they are regularly challenged by thousands of microorganisms. These insects have many antimicrobial compounds for dealing with pathogenic bacteria and fungi, suggesting that there is certainly potential to find many compounds that can serve as or inspire new antibiotics. Okay. Pathogenic bacteria found in their what? Found in their these are even there are even more insects that are masters of exploiting filthy habitats in their habitats. They are also interested in compounds which insects use to protect themselves from pathogenic bacteria and fungi found in their habitats. Yes, habitat is the answer. Habitats. Exploiting filthy habitats, such as feces and carcasses, where they are regularly challenged by thousands of microorganisms. These insects have many antimicrobial compounds for dealing with. Answer is habitats. Can you see the way habitat is very far away from where pathogenic fungi and bacteria is? Hi. Answer is habitats. Number 25, habitats. Habitats. Plural. Don't forget S, plural. Number 26, Piper hopes that these substances will be useful in the development of drugs such as antibiotics. That's it. May serve or inspire new antibiotics. Development of drugs such as antibiotics. Number 26 is going to be antibiotics. Antibiotics. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, I've finished the gap filling questions here. Okay, I've finished all the gap filling questions here. Passage 3 has gap filling question too. Okay, gap filling question in passage 3. Let me solve the gap filling question in passage 3, and then I'll come back to passage 2 and finish it up. These are things I do to maximize time, because if you run out of time and you want to do guesswork on the exam day, it will be difficult to do guesswork for gap filling questions. Very difficult. It's easier to do guesswork for yes, no, not given. Somebody says, how do I do guesswork for yes, no, not given? Just write yes for everything. That's your guesswork. If you run out of time and you have not done anything under yes, no, not given, my advice to you is to what? Just write yes for everything. That's guesswork. That's what you do. And if it's a question like this, a question like this, just pick one of these options. Maybe A or B. Write A for everything, or write B for everything, or guesswork because of time, but that's not ideal actually. All right, let's go back. Guided play. That is the title of this summary. In the simplest form of guided play, an adult contributes to the environment in which the child is playing. Alternatively, an adult can play with a child and develop the play. For instance, by dash the child to investigate different aspects of their game. Okay, so let me search for guided play. That's my main keyword here. Guided play, environments. Guided play and environment. So I'll go to the passage, paragraph A, play, guided play and adult are my keywords. There's nothing like guided play in paragraph A. Paragraph B, importance of play. Children play, grade school, toys, okay? Through play, children learn. Important role for adults in guiding children. Okay, now let's slow down. Full consensus on the formal definition of play. Okay. I can't see guided play here, but I saw adults in guiding children here. Let me check the next one. A majority of the contemporary definition of play. Okay. Similarly, play is along a continuum. Play is pleasurable. Okay. I'm looking for guided play. According to this view, okay, from the perspective of continuum, hybrid work, play, guided play. Critically recent research, adults can facilitate learning. Guided play, finally, I've seen guided play here. While maintaining playful approach in interactions known as guided play. The adult's role in the play varies as a function of the educational goals. Okay, so let me go back to that summary. In the simplest form of guided play, the adult contributes to the environment. Hold on. So this is guided play here. This is guided play here. Okay? Guided play. Simplest form. Guided play takes two forms. At the very basic level, can you see paraphrasing here? Very basic level is a paraphrase for what? Simplest form. In the question, they use the word simplest form. In the simplest form. So in the passage, they use the word basic level. Adults can enrich the child's environment by providing objects or experiences that promote aspects of a curriculum. Let's go back. In the simplest form, an adult contributes to the environment in which the child is playing. Alternatively, an adult can play with the child and develop the play. For instance, by dash the child to investigate different aspects of the game. Okay? So alternatively, I should look for something like that. In the more direct form of guided play, parents or other adults can support children's play by joining in the fun as a co-player, raising thoughtful questions. What is that? What is the meaning of raising thoughtful questions? What is the paraphrase for raising thoughtful questions? Investigate. Investigate. Raising thoughtful questions. That's investigate. So I need to study that sentence carefully to look for the word that fits into this gap. For instance, by dash the child to investigate. For instance, by doing something to the child to investigate. Look at it now. Parents or other adults can support, okay, support the child to investigate. By support the child. No. We need a word that has ing. We need a word that will be in this gap should have ing. For instance, by encouraging the child. I mean, my point is that there should be ing by something, doing something to the child, supporting the child. You know, I mean, you should have ing, grammar. So this gap, this place, let's study it closely. So you see the way this is why I call focused reading and analysis. So look for words that have ing in a more direct form of guided play. Parent can support the children's play by joining. Joining is here. Joining, commenting, encouraging. I prefer this one. I prefer encouraging. Encouraging further exploration. Encouraging. For instance, by encouraging the child. I prefer encouraging. Encouraging is actually better, to me. By joining the child to investigate, by encouraging the child to investigate. Encouraging is better. I'll go for encouraging. Number 37. 37, encouraging. Number 37, encouraging. Encouraging. I'll go for encouraging. Next one, Adults can help children to learn through play and may make the activity rather structured, but it should still be based on the child's dash to play. Okay, it should be based on the child's dash to play. So let's go back to the passage. Although playful learning can be somewhat structured, it must be child-centered. Play should stem from the child's own desire. That's our answer, desire. Desire is the answer for that, number 38. Should be based on the child's desire to play. Number 38 is desire. Number 38 is desire. Number 39, play without the intervention of adults gives children real dash. Play without the intervention of adults gives children real dash. All right, so next paragraph. Both free and guided play are essential elements in child-centered approach to playful learning. Intrinsically motivated free play. This is what they call, what's it called? Without the intervention of adults, intrinsically motivated. It provides the child with true autonomy. Autonomy, that's our word. Autonomy. One word only. Play without the intervention of adults gives children real autonomy. Number 39 is autonomy. Number 39 is autonomy. And then number 40, with adults, play can be dashed at particular goals. Play can be dashed at particular goals. So, while guided play is an avenue through which parents and educators can provide a more targeted learning experience. More targeted learning experiences. In either case, play should be actively engaged. It should be predominantly child-directed and it must be fun. Okay. However, all forms of play, with adults, play can be aimed at particular goals. Let me see. Targeted at particular goals. Targeted at particular goals. Targeted. Targeted, that's the word. Targeted at particular goals. Play can be aimed. Aimed is not in the passage. They use the word targeted. Number 40, targeted. 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 Targeted at particular goals. Targeted. This is it here. So, ladies and gentlemen, I've solved all the gap filling questions in this book. So let me go back to my passage 2. Let me solve the matching information here. Matching information questions. Who is still with me? Are you guys still with me? If you are with me, let me see your message in the chat box. If you are still following me, you are still enjoying the lesson. Let me see. All right, I can see some messages. Very good. Thank you very much. Very good. Very good. All right. So let's look at matching information questions. How do we solve matching information questions, ladies and gentlemen? You read the statements and identify keywords in the statements. So I read this statement, like I said, step 1, 2, 3, 4 that I gave earlier when I started. Mention of factors. Take note of this plural word, factors. Driving a renewed interest in natural medicinal compounds. Factors is a keyword here. Renewed interest, natural medicinal compounds. Those are my keywords. How recent technological advances have made research easier. Recent is a keyword there. Technological advances, another keyword. Easier, insect research easier. Number 16, examples of animals which use medicinal substances from nature. Examples, we should see 2 or 3 examples, okay, of animals. Medicinal substances, nature. Reasons, plural, that's another plural word. Reasons why it is challenging to use insects in drug research. Challenging, that's another keyword here. Insects, drug research. Reference to how interest in drug research may benefit wildlife. Interest in drug research, benefit wildlife. Those are my keywords. A reason why nature-based medicine fell out of favor for a period. Nature-based medicines, that's a keyword here. In other words, medicines obtained from nature. Fell out of favor for a period. Fell out of favor means people were no longer interested in it. People did not like it again. People did not show interest in it again. That's meaning of fell out of favor. That's paraphrasing. Then, number 20, an example of an insect-derived medicine in use at the moment. Insect-derived medicine in use. So, I've highlighted my keywords in the statement. The next thing I'll do now is to read the passage paragraph by paragraph. and look for what? Look for paragraphs to match the statements too. Okay, so let's go to the passage paragraph A. More drugs than you might think are. I'm going to read very fast because, matching information. And as I'm reading, my mind is going to be taking me back to the word, to those keywords I've identified. You understand? This thing is something that you develop with practice. Studying keywords and registering the keywords in your mind is something that you develop with practice. That's why I tell people practice a lot, to practice a lot. Okay? Looking to nature for soothing and curing our ailments is nothing new. We have done it for thousands of years. We only have to look at primates. Capuchin monkeys rub themselves. That's our answer to number. Animal that use something to. Examples of animals that use medicinal substances from nature. That's it. Number 16. Animals that use medicinal substances from nature. Animals. So we need to look for 2 or 3 animals in that paragraph. Number 1, capuchin monkeys rub themselves with toxin oozing millipedes to deter mosquitoes. That's number 1. Capuchin monkeys use medicinal substances from nature. Number 2, chimpanzees use noxious forest plants to rid themselves of intestinal parasites. That's it, 2 animals. You already have 2 animals. So our answer to number 16 is what? Is A. So I'll just write in my book 16, A. Okay? Hope you get the gist. Let's go on. Paragraph B now. Pharmaceutical science and chemistry built on ancient foundations and perfected extraction. Then for a while, modern pharmaceutical science moved its focus away from nature into the laboratory. Okay? They moved away from nature. Where is it? Nature-based medicine fell out of favor. Can you see that? Nature-based medicine fell out of favor. The reason, let's see whether the reason is mentioned there, because that thing says the reason, a reason where it fell out of favor. The main cause of this shift are, can you see the reason? So I don't need to waste my time. Number 19. Number 19 is going to be paragraph B. Number 19 is B. Can you see the way I am just, picking my answer based on keywords? We don't need to waste time. See, we are reading the passage to answer questions. We are not reading the passage to understand the passage. If you try to understand the passage, you are going to waste time. You are reading the passage to understand, to answer questions. So the thing to understand is the question. Understand the question, so that you can be able to pick the correct answer. That's the approach that will help you to save time. That's the approach that will help you to what? To what? To save time. If you are trying to understand the passage, you will waste time. That's it. Let's go on. Paragraph C now. So let me read paragraph C again. Skim read. What I'm doing is skim reading. You see, I'm not reading in detail. I'm skim reading. That's skim reading. Laboratory-based drug discovery has various levels of success, something which has now prompted development of new approaches. With the ability to mine genome for useful compounds, this sounds like one of my answers. It is now evident that we have now barely scratched the surface of nature's molecular biodiversity. Hold on. With the ability to mine genome for useful compounds, it is now evident that we have barely scratched the surface. There's one, this one. How recent? Mining genome is a recent development. I've made insect research easier. With the ability to mine genome for useful compounds, it is now evident that we have barely scratched the surface of nature's molecular biodiversity. But they did not mention insect here. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure I'll pick paragraph C for that. Insects are the undisputed masters of terrestrial domain, where they occupy every possible niche. Okay, something which has driven the evolution of an enormous range of interesting compounds for defensive and offensive purposes. Their remarkable diversity exceeds that of every other group of animals on the planet. Yet, even though insects are far and away the most diverse animals in existence, their potential as sources of therapeutic compounds is yet to be realized. This paragraph C and D, there's nothing yet to. I'm coming. Let me read those statements. So I've done number 14, mention of factors driving renewed interest in natural. Hold on. Number 14 is matched to C. Number 14 is matched to paragraph C. Factors driving renewed interest. Look at it. Laboratory-based drug discovery has achieved very level of success. Something which has now prompted the development of new approaches focusing once again. Can you see that? Focusing once again. What is the meaning of once again? If you say once again, that means that that thing was done before and then they stopped. So focusing once again with the ability to mine genome, that's one reason why they are focusing on it again. This realization, together with several looming health crises, that's the second reason. So paragraph C is matched to number 14. Two factors were mentioned in paragraph C, and those two factors are driving renewed interest in natural compounds. Should be matched to paragraph C. The paragraph mentioned two factors driving what? Renewed interest in natural compounds. What are the two factors? The first factor is what? The first factor they mentioned is what? Is what's it called now? New approaches, ability to mine genome. Ability to mine genome is another factor here. Ability to mine what? Ability to mine genome. Okay, and then several looming health crises. That's another factor. So those two factors are, that's the reason why I'm picking paragraph C. Then let me see the other statement. Number 15 says how recent technological advances have made insects. This one, I'm not sure yet. Number 20, an example of an insect-derived medicine in use. No, I've not seen that. So let me check paragraph E. From the tiny proportion of insects that have been investigated, several promising compounds have been identified. For example, alloferon, an antimicrobial compound produced by blowfly larvae. Anti-tumor agents in South Korea. They are using it now. That's the last one. Number 20, an example of an insect-derived medicine. That's alloferon. Alloferon is used in South Korea. Paragraph E, number 20 is matched to E. Number 20 is matched to E. Okay, so I'm left with 15. How recent technological advances have made insect research easier? Paragraph F, why is it that insects have received relatively little attention? Okay. Why? I don't think the answer is here. Paragraph G, I've read this paragraph before. Paragraph H, although natural history points us in the right direction, it doesn't solve the problem associated with obtaining useful compounds from insects. Fortunately, it is now possible to snip out. Yes, this is our answer. It is now possible to snip out stretches of insects' DNA. You see this word here? This is a technological word. Snip out. It's a technological word. It's vocabulary. Somebody says, how did I use it's a technological word. It's vocabulary. It's because I read wide. That's why I'm familiar with many of these words. When you say snip, snip means that you are cutting out part of something. I'm using it for something else. Snip out. So it's now possible to snip out stretches of insects' DNA that carry the codes for the interesting compounds and insert them into cell lines. This is it. This is the thing about insects. Although the road from isolating and characterizing compounds with desirable qualities. So this one can be matched to statement number 15. Number 15. Number 15 can be matched to paragraph H. Number 15 can be matched to paragraph H. So 15 is H. So I've solved everything from 14 to 20. I have my answers on my computer here. So I'm left with 21 and 22 for this passage. Which two of the following make insects interesting for drug research? Which two of the following make insects interesting for drug research? So let me see. Let me go to the passage and go and look for what makes insects interesting. I'm going to need to scan from the beginning. Insects interesting for drug research. They didn't talk about using insects in this paragraph A. Paragraph B, did they talk about using insects for drug research? No. They didn't talk about using insects in paragraph B. Paragraph C, did they talk about using insects here? No. Paragraph D, insects are the undisputed masters. Something which has driven the evolution of enormous range of interesting compounds. Their remarkable diversity exceeds that of. Yet, even though insects are far and away the most diverse animals in existence, their potential as source of therapeutic compounds is yet to be realized. From the tiny proportions of insects that have been investigated, okay? Yes, number paragraph F, why is it that insects have received relatively little attention? Little attention. Hold on. That question says, which two of the following make insects interesting? Insects have received little attention. That question is saying they have received plenty attention. Okay, let me check this paragraph G. We have developed the creatures that particularly interest us are insects. There are even more insects that are masters of exploiting filthy habitats. Okay. Hold on, let me check this paragraph F again. Firstly, there are so many insects that without the manner of targeted approach investigating this with variety of species is a daunting task. Secondly, insects are generally very small. This can make it difficult to obtain sufficient quantity of compounds. Thirdly, although we consider insects to be everywhere, the reality of this ubiquity is vast numbers of few extremely common species. Many insect species are infrequently encountered in very difficult to rear in captivity and very difficult to rear in captivity. Okay. I'm probably going to use general knowledge to answer this question. General knowledge of this passage. With very bit of wilderness that disappears, we deprive ourselves of the potential of medicine. My main motivation for looking at insects in this way is conservation. Okay. Conservation. I believe that all species have the right to exist for their own sake. Okay, let me check that question again. This is a very interesting question. Multiple choice. Which two of the following make insects interesting for drug research? The huge number of individual insects in the world. From what I've read in that passage so far, this option A looks like a correct answer. Option B, the variety of substances insects have developed to protect themselves. Option B also looks correct. Option C, the potential to extract and make use of insect genetic codes. This one is a difficult thing. They mentioned it in the passage that this part is difficult. Option C. Option D, the similarity between different species of insect. No. Option D is out of it. The manageable, no, option E is out of it. My answer is between A, B, and C. My answer is going to be between A, B, and C. The huge number of individual insects in the world. Look at it. That A, let me see, A is supported by, let me see. There's a sentence I saw earlier on. Insects are the undisputed masters where they occupy every possible niche. Consequently, they have a bewildering array of interactions with other organisms, something which has driven the evolution of an enormous range of interesting compounds. Their remarkable diversity exceeds that of. So there is plenty of insects all over. The huge number of individual insects. A, then B says the variety of substances that insects are developed to protect themselves. This B is a very strong answer. The potential to extract and make use of insects' genetic code. That genetic code issue is that place where I saw snip out. Fortunately, it is now possible to snip out stretches of insect DNA that carry the codes for the interesting compounds and insert them into cell lines. I'm not, this thing is taking too much time. So I'm going to pick B and C. I don't know. A looks correct, but I can't pick more than 2. I'm going to pick B and C. I'm going to pick B and C. I don't know. This huge number of individual insects in the world. I'll pick B and C. B is definitely correct. But A and C, I'm not sure which one is wrong. So I'll just pick B and C for 21 and 22. B and then C. So let's move to passage 3 now. Passage 3 is titled The Power of Play. Passage 3 is titled The Power of Play. That B and C choke. You guys are saying it choke. All right, let's move on. Power of play. Let's go to the questions. Again, we have matching features questions, yeah? L-kind, Miller. Okay, so we have different names here. So let me read the statements and highlight my keywords. And then I'll go to the passage. Play can be divided into a number of separate categories. So who is the person that came up with that? Play, divided, separate categories. Those are my keywords. Adults' intended goals affect how they play with children. Intended goals, adults, affect children. Those are my keywords here. Combining work with play may be the best way for children to learn. Combining, best way, children. 30, certain elements of play are more significant than others. Certain elements, play, more significant. Activities can be classified on a scale of playfulness, okay? Activities classified, scale, playfulness. So let's go to the passage now. I'll start with L-kind. I'll scan for L-kind. Paragraph A, there's nothing like L-kind here. Paragraph B, I can see L-kind. L-kind is one that said this first. Today, children play 8 hours less each week than their counterparts did 2 decades ago. Hold on. Children play less than their counterparts did 2 decades ago. There's nothing like that here. Let's go back to this passage. Under pressure of rising academic standards, play is being replaced by test preparation in kindergartens and grade schools, and parents who aim to give their preschooler a leg are led to believe. Okay, let's go on. There is nothing there. Next paragraph. There's no name here. Miller and Almond. Is there Miller and Almond on that list? Yes, option B. Miller and Almond is option B. So what did they say? Definition range from discrete description of various types of play, such as physical, construction, language, or symbolic play, Miller and Almond, to list of broad criteria based on observations. So these ones are defining. Full consensus on the former definition of play continues to elude researchers and theorists who study it. Definitions range from discrete descriptions of various types of play. Discrete descriptions of various types of play. That's Miller and Almond. Discrete. What is the meaning of discrete? Discrete means separate. You can't, there's no connecting line between two things. That is the meaning of discrete. That's option 20. That's statement 27. Play can be divided into a number of separate categories. So number 27 is matched to A. 27 is A. I'm sorry, 27 is B, Miller and Almond. 27 is B. Then discrete, to a list of broad criteria based on observations and attitudes that are meant to capture the essence of all play behaviors. Rubin et al. Rubin et al. Okay. Stuart Brown, Rubin et al. And then Stuart Brown. Let's go on. I can see Stuart Brown here. Stuart Brown has described play as anything that spontaneously is done for its own sake. More specifically, he says it appears purposeless, produces pleasure and joy, and leads one to the next stage of mastery. That's what Stuart Brown said. That is what Stuart Brown said. So what sounds like that here? Adult, no. Combining, no. No. Activities can be classified on a scale of playfulness. That doesn't sound like what Stuart Brown said. Stuart Brown said that play is purposeless, produces pleasure. So I don't think that's Stuart Brown. Hold on, this is Rubin et al. Again. Hold on, Miller Almond. Similarly, Miller and Almond say that play includes activities that are freely chosen, directed by children, and arise from intrinsic motivation. Okay. Number 27, 28, 29. Activities can be classified on a scale of playfulness. That statement. Activities can be classified on a scale of, it sounds like something I saw. Okay. Lists of broad criteria. Okay, no. Scale of playfulness. Okay, purposeless. Activities are chosen freely. I don't think there's anything here. Let me go to the next passage. Then next page. According to this view, children's playful behavior can range in degree. Scale of playfulness, see it here, range in degree from 0% to 100% playful. Okay. Rubin and his colleagues did not assign greater weight to any one dimension in determining playfulness. However, other researchers have suggested that process orientation and a lack of obvious functional purpose may be the most important aspects of play. Lack of functional purpose is the most important aspect of play. Where is it? Activities will be classified. Certain elements of play are more significant than others. Combining work with play may be the best way for children to learn. Adults' intended goals affect how they play with children. Okay. There are so many things I'm seeing in this passage. This degree of playfulness, who said it? That's my challenge now. Is it Rubin? It looks like it's Rubin that said it. Often, play is defined along a continuum. Yes, along a continuum. That's Rubin. So this scale of playfulness is Rubin et al. Number 31, activities can be classified on a scale of playfulness. Is C. Number 31 is going to be C. Why? Look at this place. Let me show you. Often, play is defined along a continuum. This thing is a scale. Is another word for scale, as more or less playful, more playful, most playful. And then they now explained it. This, can you see that there is like a special paragraph here? It's not starting along here, along this place. That tells you that what this thing that they are writing here is Rubin that wrote it. Is Rubin that wrote it. And then the author now starts again here. He now says, according to this view, who is the person? Rubin. So that issue of scale of playfulness is for Rubin. Paragraph, number 31 is going to be C. 31 is C. Okay. Then let me see. I have not matched 28 and 29. So let me see. 28. Adult intended goals affect how they play with children. Who said that? 29, combining work with play may be the best way for children to learn. Certain elements of play are more significant than others. So let's go back to the passage. Pellegrini. Is there Pellegrini on that list? Yes. E. Option E is Pellegrini. However, other researchers have suggested that process orientation and lack of obvious functional purpose is the most important aspect of play. So this means that there's one aspect that is the most important. That's sounding like number 30. Certain elements of play are more significant than others. Can you see? For you to see that XYZ is the most important, that means that there are some other parts that are not important. That is the meaning. So number 30 can be matched to Pellegrini. Number 30 is going to be E. Number 30 is going to be E. Okay? Let's move on. Let's move on. Joan Goodman. Is there Joan Goodman on the list? Yes, F. Joan Goodman. Researcher Joan Goodman suggested that hybrid forms of work and play are not a detriment to learning. Rather, they can provide optimal context for learning. This is child learn more when they work and play. That's Joan Goodman. Combining work with play is the best way. Yes, that's 29. 29 is matched to F. 29 is matched to Joan Goodman. F. 29 is matched to Joan Goodman. And then, any other name? Fisher. 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 There's no Fisher on the list. So let's leave Fisher alone. S. Pasek. The adult role in play varies as a function of their educational goals. Yes, this is statement number 28. Adult intended goal affect how they play with children. Yes, 28 is matched to S. Pasek. So 28 is G. 28 is G. 28 is G. Ladies and gentlemen, I have matched 27 to, I've solved question 27 to 31. Let's solve 32 to 36 now. 32 to 36. I think that's the last set of questions. That's yes, no, not given. 32 to 36. 32 to 36. So again, we read the statements. We read the statement and highlight keywords. Children need toys in order to play. Do children need toys in order to play? Let's go to the passage. Paragraph A, I can see toys. The drive to play is so intense that children will do so in any circumstance. For instance, when they have no real toys. They don't need toys. That's not true. Number 36 is no. The answer is no. They don't need toys to play. It's a contradiction. It's contradicting the claims of the writer. They don't need toy. That thing says that word. If they don't have toy, they will still play. Look at it. It says that word. When they have no real toys, they will do so. It's so intense that they will do so in any circumstance. For instance, when they have no real toys. So they will always find a way to play. That's children. That's children. Okay? Number 33, it is a mistake to treat play and learning as separate types of activities. Okay? It is a mistake to treat play and learning as separate types of activities. So let's see. In the eyes of a young child, running, pretending, building are fun. Researchers and educators know these playful activities benefit development. Okay. Paragraph B. Yet, while experts continue to expand a powerful argument on the importance of play, the actual time children spend playing continues to decrease. Under pressure of rising this. Okay, next paragraph. Through play, children learn to regulate their behavior, lay the foundation for later learning. I'm going very far. I should have seen the answer. It is a mistake to treat play and learning as separate types of activities. I've not seen play and learning as separate. Play and learning as separate. Play and learning is not in this paragraph A. What of paragraph B? Play in children's life. Time spent continues to decrease. Okay, okay. This last part. Our society has created a false dichotomy between play and learning. Can you see it there? Read that statement again, everybody. Can you see it? Our society has created a false dichotomy. What is the meaning of dichotomy? Dichotomy means that what? These two things are different. It means that what? These two things are what? Different. That is the meaning of dichotomy. Play and learning. Now, this man says that what? This writer says that what? Our society has created a false dichotomy. In other words, that difference between play and learning that we have seen in the society is false. It is wrong. This man, this writer is not, he's saying that it is not right. That's what he's saying. For him to call it false, that means he's judging it. That what? You should not separate play from learning. That's what this writer is saying. And that statement is saying the same thing. It is a mistake to treat play and learning as separate. So number 33 should be what? Number 33 should be yes. Number 33 should be what? Number 33 should be yes. Okay? That last sentence in the paragraph, in the second paragraph, that's what I'm basing my answer on. Okay? 34 now. Play helps children to develop their artistic talents. Okay? Play helps children to develop their artistic talents. Let's check. Through play, children learn to regulate their behavior, lay foundation for later learning in science and mathematics, figure out complex negotiations, build repertoire of creative problem-solving skills, and much more. There's nothing about artistic here yet. Artistic. Play helps children to develop their artistic talents. Artistic talents. Wow, wow, wow. I can't say anything about artistic talents here. We don't know. The answer is not given. It's not mentioned. We don't know. We don't know whether artistic talent is inside this so much more. We don't know. So we're going to pick not given. I'm going to write not given. Artistic talent is so important that it should have been mentioned, but they didn't mention it. So I'll pick not given. Number 35. Researchers have agreed on a definition of play. I don't think so. Definition of play, where is it now? A majority of contemporary, hold on, full consensus on a formal definition of play continues to elude the researchers. Can you see? Continues to elude. What does this statement mean? Have they agreed? Ladies and gentlemen, have they agreed based on this sentence? Full consensus on a formal definition of play continues to elude researchers. Does it mean that they have agreed? Have researchers agreed on the definition of play? Who can answer number 35 for me? Type your answer in the chat box. Let me see whether you are with me. Is number 35 yes? Have they agreed? Researchers have agreed on the definition of play. But this passage here is telling us that what? Full consensus on the formal definition of play continues to elude the researchers. What is your answer to that question? The answer is no. Thank you. No, they have not agreed. That statement is a contradiction. The answer is no. Okay? And then number 36. Number 36, the last question. Work and play differ in terms of whether or not they have a target. Work and play differ in terms of whether or not they have a target. Work and play differ. Work and play. So play definitions range from, there's nothing, they didn't talk about work and play differ here. Next paragraph, the founder of, okay, purposeless produces pleasure. Play activities that are freely chosen. Okay. Play is pleasurable. Play is process-oriented. Okay. According to this view, Rubin did not assign greater weights. Okay, hold on. Other researchers have suggested that process orientation and lack of obvious functional purpose. Okay, work. Unlike play, our answer is going to be here. Unlike play, work is typically not viewed as enjoyable and it is extrinsically motivated. Let me check that statement again. Work and play differ in terms of whether or not they have a target. Have a target. That's another important keyword. Have a target. So look at it here. From the perspective of continuum, play can thus blend with other motives and attitudes that are less playful, such as work. Unlike play, work is typically not viewed as enjoyable and it is extremely motivated. It is goal-oriented. Goal-oriented means it has a target. Work and play differ in terms of whether or not they have a target. This number 36 is going to be yes. It's going to be yes. Have a target is a paraphrase for goal-oriented. Goal-oriented. So number 36, I'm going to pick yes for number 36. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, I've solved all the 40 questions. Let me post the answer and then we're going to check the answer at the back of the book and see how many questions are right and how many questions are wrong. And then we're going to do, what do we do after marking our work? Who remembers? What do we do after marking our work? Who remembers? Type it in the chat box. Let me see whether you guys have been following me. What do we do after marking our work? One to 20. 1 to 20. Then 21 to 40. 21 to 40 on the other side. Okay, so I said, what do we do after we mark our work? Let me see. What do we do? Thank you. Do thorough self-correction. Yes, very important. Do thorough self-correction. So this is test 3. Test 3. This is test 3. These are the answers for test 3. Okay, I hope you can see it. Number 1, B, A, D. Not given, no, yes. B, C, B, A, C, A. Number 13, A. Everything in passage 1 is correct. Interesting. Number 14, C, H, A. What happened to my number 17? Wow, I did not do number 17. I didn't write number 17 and 18 down. 17 and 18. Wow, that's a mistake. 17 and 18 is missing. 1920 BE. 17 and 18 are missing. 1920 BE. 2122 BC. See that multiple choice questions I was giving us issues. The answer is BC. 23 ecology. 24 prey. 25 habitat. 26 antibiotics. 27 B, G, F, E, C. No, yes, not giving. No, yes, encouraging, desire, autonomy, targeted. Ladies and gentlemen, all my answers are correct, except for the 17 and 18 I did not write down. How did I miss it? Maybe that was when the network was interrupting. So you see the way we solved, what's it called? The questions. Again, the steps. What do we start with? Read the questions and do what? Identify keywords. Okay, 17 and 18, these are the two questions I did not solve. Reasons why it is challenging to use insects in drug research. Number 17, reason why it is challenging to use insects in drug research. Why is it challenging? It's because of, where is it now? I think we saw it in paragraph F. Paragraph F, insects have received relatively little attention. Paragraph F gives us the reason. Paragraph F, firstly, these are the reasons. Reason one, firstly. Secondly, insects are generally very small. So 17 is matched to F. 17 is matched to F. 17 is F, okay? And then 18, reference to how interest in drug research may benefit wildlife. Now, I saw that in the last paragraph where that man talked about conservation. I saw it in the last paragraph. So he said that my main motivation for looking at insects this way is conservation. I sincerely believe that all species, no matter how small and significantly small, have the right to exist. If we can shed light on the darker recesses of nature's medicine cabinet, exploring useful chemistry of the most diverse animals on the planet, I believe we can make people think differently about the value of nature. So this eye is pointing at what? How interest in drug research may benefit wildlife. I think number 18 should be J. I'm sorry, should be I. Number 18 should be I. 17 and 18 should be matched like that. Let me see. Test 3. 17 and 18. F and I. That's it. F and I. So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope with these few points of mine, I have been able to convince you that what? IELTS reading is what? Is very easy to handle. You just have to what? You just have to master these techniques and do a lot of practice. Do a lot of practice. Okay?